Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. It's a beautifully balmy February 13th. It's incredible, and as you can see here, I got a little Cuban stogie in my mouth. I'm not really smoking it, but I thought it looked pretty good, and I have a courtesy of my guest here. We're going to find out all about that. I just came back from Cuba, and we're going to find out what else there is about him as well. But before I get to him, got to read these amazing underwriters, and then we will get to the show officially. So we got a new one, Lynch's Towing in Brockton. My old friend Dave Lynch from the old neighborhood, great guy. We got the barbershop in Whitman on Route 27. Great prices, great quality, very personable. We got T. Martini and Son Floor Covering in Abington. No job is too big or too small. We got Easton Fitness in the Village Shops and here in Northeastern. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Comfort Upholstery in East Bridgewater. We got Cuddy's Automotive in Brockton. We got Above All Fitness in Brockton. We got Auto Solutions in Brockton. We got Shovel Shop Spirits right here in Easton, beer, wine, and liquor. And we got Clothes Clinic Dry Cleaning and Alterations in Whitman, where Topic Time fans get 10% off. I want to thank you guys very much, and now we will start the show officially. Here we go. You got it. Okay, again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Well, this young man here, this is Matt Hood. Is it Matthew Hood?
Matt Hood is
Matt Hood.
good.
That's your name. Okay. I don't really know that much about him. I know we just got back from Cuba, and he brought me a present, as you can see here, and he got some souvenirs as well. But he's got a large, long train history, and there's a great Topic Time host that I am, a TV talk show host that I am of Topic Time. I'm going to ask some good questions. We're going to find out all about him. He was referred to me by one Wayne Soares, who was a guest on my show last year, and ESPN broadcaster. He does a lot of work with the veterans of the United States military, and now we're going to find out if that applies to Matt here as well. But first of all, Matt, I just want to thank you for coming in and being on Topic Time.
Thank you.
And I'm glad. Thank you, Wayne, for arranging it. Okay. Well, tell me in a nutshell, sum up what you're about. Where did you grow up? What do you sent me an email with a lot of stuff.
Sure.
And let's go chronologically. Tell me where you started out, what you've done, how it's pertinent to your interview with me, and then if I have any questions, I'll interject them. And then we'll keep talking. So go ahead.
Sure. I'll try to keep it in a nutshell, but wrap it up as nicely.
Okay, we get a half hour. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Okay.
Lived there for upwards of 20 years.
All right.
Grew up in a very blue-collar family. Started working construction at a very young age with my father and uncle.
How young were you?
I was 14 years old.
Okay, yeah, that is pretty young.
Don't tell anybody because I wasn't technically
weren't
supposed to be working construction. But
statute of limitations, my friend. It's all water under the bridge now, but
right.
Okay,
right.
hopefully.
So 14 basically started my working career, and then later in life, around 25, I moved out to California to pursue what I do now, a career in design.
All right, when you hold up a second. Now you mentioned design. When you say now, most people go out there for acting. That wasn't your case.
No. I always wanted to be in the creative field, not so much acting, but like drawing, and I knew something around those lines was it. So kind of graphic design was what. Graphic
design.
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So by graphic design, you mean like graphic arts?
Yeah, it's a very broad term, graphic design. I'm technically a brand designer.
Okay.
So what that entails is I work with brands and companies to kind of help them
You create logos on pants and stuff like that, right? Or something.
We can do pants. We can do pants.
Okay.
But like we'll call it like a graphic identity. So how the system works across like through their website and signage and marketing assets. Like I do the whole shebang.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how thoroughly and large have you gotten in this field? Do you own your own design company now?
I do. I have my own practice, and then I also work for a company out of LA. So I kind of balance the two. Like I consult for them and then work for myself. Yeah.
So this must have taken some time to manifest itself for you.
It did. I mean, it was a lot of work, but
Of course
if
it
it's
was.
something you're passionate about, I feel like it feels less like work, and it was kind of just something
Something
that
you
I love
love.
to do.
But
Exactly.
why did you go to Cal? Was this what part of LA, right? You went to California. That's the part you went to LA, correct? When you
San
went,
Diego.
oh, San Diego.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
I've been there. My brother did some law school there.
Yeah.
But why did you go out there to pursue this career and not someplace closer?
It was just it was just one of those things, Harrison. It just wasn't going to happen here. I kind of needed
Okay.
to get away from the environment here.
Right.
It just wasn't working. So, and I always wanted to try California. So
Okay.
that was
Okay. And this is okay. So when you get out there, what was the first thing you did to help enhance the career?
First thing I did, well, funny thing is, the first thing I did was go back to what I knew best, was the masonry construction.
Okay, right. That like we did with your father.
Exactly.
Okay.
But once I kind of got out there, I was like, this is just not working for me anymore. And I hit a point, I was like, I need to like take some serious action. So I went back to design school, and that's why I formally learned.
What, out in LA or in San Diego?
San Diego, yeah.
And what school was that?
It was just San Diego City College, which had a very, very strong design program.
Okay.
They rivaled any four-year university out there.
And how many years were they?
For me, with their full design program, it was about a 3-year,
Okay.
like, fully intensive course, yeah.
And this includes like creating designs with computer graphics, basically.
Exactly, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And of course, and since then you've obviously come a long way. So so after your schooling, what did you do with that? How did you matriculate from school to the career that you currently have?
Well, I was fortunate. I had really good professors in school, and they
Okay.
were always adamant about, like, you know, after you graduate, what do you want to do with this? Because you can take it pretty much wherever you want. Do you want to work for somebody? You want
Right.
a studio? And it was always in my mind. I knew I wanted to work for myself. I guess that was just my mentality.
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I just kind of worked hard and made some connections and got more and more freelance gigs, from small scale to large scale.
Okay.
And now, oddly enough, now that I moved back here, I still like work for some clients out of San Diego, even still.
Well, of course, now if you could create, literally, because of the computer age in which we live, you can create stuff online that you can send to anywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It is.
We're definitely connected in that sense, so it's really good in terms of what I do for work, because I can have a Google meeting with you and then send you the
Something.
product or asset, and we don't even have to be in the same room.
So in the meantime, you're self-employed, but you still work for that company in San Diego or LA.
Out of LA.
Out of LA.
Correct.
Okay, so I assume that when you were in San Diego, you drove up to LA to take up employment with them or to get interviewed or something all those years ago. And
Funny thing is about that was also just kind of sort of through connections and putting my feelers out there. Is how I
Okay.
got the
And they found you.
connection in LA. Pretty much, yeah.
okay, and that's the way. Now, what else have you done in life that you want to mention that's interesting? I mean, like I said, you gave me a whole bucket list of stuff that it
Sure.
sounds like you've done already.
Uh-huh.
And it sounds like you have a done bucket list of stuff that most people never complete in a lifetime. In 31 years, and that's pretty impressive.
And that's part which dovetails into design. I try to promote and speak to people about how to design in their personal lives.
Okay.
Because I kind of practice that
You're a
myself.
consultant.
Exactly.
Okay.
From more on the personal front too, as well as like the professional design
Right,
side.
you're the great communicator.
We'll work with that. I'll take that.
That's right. All right. Well, so the design thing is your passion, but you say you did martial arts and did other things and
Yeah, I boxed in the Golden Gloves
Okay.
for a couple years.
boxed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How'd you
That
do?
was exciting. I was pretty good.
Looked like
I
you were
was
in
a
good
good
shape.
fighter. I made it to the semifinals one year, and then just lost on points the following.
Okay.
But boxing is one of those sports. Well, any sport, if you want to take it, you have to be all in.
That's right.
And sort of some life things just happen with boxing and work and family, where I kind of had to put boxing to the side. And,
Okay.
and then other things popped up naturally. But I still train to this day.
Good for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my brother's a boxing prognosticator. He actually had a website where you could bet on it.
Okay.
He doesn't anymore, but he still bets on it, and he does pretty well.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, he lives right here in Easton too.
Okay.
So that having been said, you just came back from Cuba. What was in Cuba?
I did.
Was that business or was it pleasure or both?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
I was working from there.
Obviously, that's what this came from. Yeah.
Yes, we can talk more about that after. But
Yeah.
I just feel as a designer or creative or anyone for that matter, it's really important to travel,
Yep.
to go new places and try new things, because it just opens your mind to like different perspectives and cultures and ways of doing things.
Right.
like Cuba was just even different than what I had expected, you know.
It's funny, Chronicle was doing a story on Cuba for a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
It was a two-parter. I watched it. It was amazing.
very interesting place.
It is.
Very
I know. My
interesting
parents
place.
have been there.
Uh-huh.
The temperature never drops below 90 degrees. It looks like it's the 1950s, even though
Pretty
it's
much.
right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of poverty, but there's also a lot
There
of
is.
good, culture there too, and there's a lot of
There is.
festive dancing and singing and bongo drumming.
Very, very energetic
Yep,
people,
yep.
very energetic culture, fantastic
Girls look pretty good
music.
from the pictures I've seen too.
What'd you say?
The girls look pretty
Oh,
good.
the women, there's some
The
good,
women,
yes,
yeah,
of
the women,
course,
the
of
girl,
course.
everybody, right. The
Yeah.
females look very nice.
Yeah.
Are you married with children or anything?
I'm not, I'm single.
You're
as of
single,
now,
single as a
yeah.
shingle?
Single
On
as
a
a
Pringle?
shingle, baby.
Got it,
yeah.
okay, that's
As a
good.
Pringle, too.
That's good because that gives you the opportunity, that frees you up. There's no hurry to get married if you ever meet somebody.
Right.
Obviously, with the traveling you do, that's going to open up those doors too if you want them to. That's totally your call. And also a little bit of fate thrown in. I always say everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Say that in just about every show. So what specifically did you do in Cuba that, it sounds like, did you reach out did you make any more business connections down there that you didn't have before?
That wasn't really my primary reason going down there. I mean, I would have been open to it.
Okay.
I kind of just met some new people along the way, you know what I mean?
Down there, you mean Cubans?
Yeah.
Are you bilingual?
I'm trying to learn Spanish,
Spanish,
but
yeah.
Necesito más practicando. But we're getting
Yeah,
there.
you stumped me, so
We're getting there.
That's a start.
Slowly but surely, yeah.
In fact, I flunked Spanish 3 times in high school.
Yeah.
And they just wanted me out of high school, so they passed me anyway.
Right. That
Right.
sort of makes both of us. I took Spanish in school, but I never took it serious, and now it's one of those things I'm wishing I did. But
What in high school you mean?
in a little bit in high school, and then primarily in middle school. But then I
Okay.
took a little Italian too, but I didn't take any of it serious.
This was back in Springfield,
Yeah.
growing up there.
Yeah.
How old were you when you left your father's business in Springfield? You said you were in your 20s, so you worked for him for like 7 years?
Yeah, so that was kind of one of the harder parts of my life. The reason I kind of made this big transition and move was because both my father and uncle had passed away.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
And it was like, that kind of entails with the life design thing. I was like, I have to do what I want to do now, or
Yeah.
I probably won't ever do it. And masonry and construction was, for me, it was great, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I knew it wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Yep.
So I made the decision to move out to California and, pursue a different path.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you handled it great considering the situation.
Yeah.
It's a devastating thing what you went through, and the fact that you were able to turn it into a positive is pretty impressive.
Right, and that's kind of the key to life. It's like, it's
It
not
is.
what happens to you, it's what you do with it, right?
Right,
So,
totally.
I could have totally curled up and just,
Right.
let it be there, but then I'm just like, I got to get better and we got to progress, and
Yep.
yeah.
So how did you pass a Wayne cross, and how did that come to be?
With Wayne?
Well, yeah.
I met Wayne through, funny enough, his name is Harrison. Another Harrison.
Oh, another guy named Harrison?
Yeah. And
Best name there is.
he referred me to Wayne.
Okay.
We met up. I know he's a good publicist, and
He
I
is.
said I'm looking to dive deeper into this speaking thing, and he's.
You mean
he's
Harrison's a
giving me
good publicist, or Wayne's a good publicist?
Wayne.
Wayne, yep,
Yeah.
he is.
And Harrison's in a similar field as me. He does like web design and SEO, so
Okay.
it's kind of just like connecting the dots. I met Wayne, and now I met you.
Did you meet him back here in New England?
I did.
You did.
Yeah.
So you'd already come back from California.
Correct.
And when you came back, so when did you decide to come back to the East Coast from California? It sounds to me like that's what you did. You established yourself out there, but then you came back here.
Right.
And when was this? And what were the circumstances?
Yeah, it was one of those things, Harrison. San Diego was great. I
I know I've been there, like I said.
Totally took a new, beautiful shift in my life, but it came to a point where, I have a small niece and nephew, and I grew up in a pretty big, like, Italian cultured family, so we're all very close.
Okay.
And it kind of I hit a point where it was just like, I want to be around my family now, and I have like the tools. I'm a designer now. I work remotely,
Okay.
so I can kind of be anywhere out in the world.
That's
you know?
awesome. So you
Yeah.
basically got the skills, you got the tools, you got the experience, and then you decided to bring it back here.
Exactly.
So you bi-coastal each time,
Bi-coastal.
twice removed.
Bi-coastal, bi-Cuban,
Bi-Cuban.
everything.
Well, have you traveled anywhere else in the world, or that's worth mentioning? And then I want to look at your souvenirs.
Yeah, sure. So far, I've been to Cancun, Mexico, which I don't quite consider traveling because, in my opinion, it's a very touristy
Oh, okay.
place. But other than that, I've been so
Especially
far.
during spring break.
Exactly. It's kind of
Yeah.
one of those like places.
You're like Fort
but-
Lauderdale, I know. Except
Yeah,
it's in
sure.
Mexico, right?
Sure. So far, Switzerland.
Wow.
Gstaad. I don't know. It's a mountain town in Switzerland. Beautiful.
Oh,
beautiful,
Switzerland. I'd love to go to
beautiful.
Switzerland. I've not
Yeah.
been there. I've done some traveling too, but not to
Incredible.
Switzerland.
Like the rolling mountains and landscape is incredible. Then Madrid, Spain,
Yep.
and Cuba so far, which are the most interesting places to me, in my opinion. Yeah.
You might want to try Scotland sometime. That's beautiful. I
It's
went
on
there in
the list.
1981.
It's on the list. Yeah.
It is, yeah. I did the great thing about Scotland is that the sun, because they're in a higher latitude than we are, the sun stays up a lot longer, especially during the summertime.
Right.
The sun, where I was staying, it didn't go down until 9 o'clock at night in April. If you were there in the summer, it'd be like 11 o'clock at night, and you got the highlands. If you love the mountains, sounds to me like if you went to Switzerland, you're a mountain guy.
I'm more, believe it or not, I'm a summer baby, so I like the warm weather.
You like the warm weather?
I'm more into the tropical, yeah.
Okay, I hear you. So that's what. Okay, so you prefer what? But all right, so you prefer like San Diego to Switzerland, or at least to live.
I mean,
And Cuba too, obviously.
overall, yeah, I'd
Yeah.
prefer even so far Cuba of all of them. Cuba was phenomenal.
Yeah, of course. Okay. So speaking of Cuba, hold up those pictures and we'll
Yeah,
look at
so
them.
I just
Cuban
bought
art there
these
that you
from a
brought.
street vendor, and I'll kind of fill you guys
Hold
in
it
on
up on
just-
that side. They're gonna.
Sure.
Okay.
So these are some of the cars in Cuba, and initially I was under the perception that every car in Cuba was like a 1950s Cadillac or
That's what I
Chevy
thought
Bel
too.
Air.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
Like most of the cars are not in that good a shape. The nicest cars are the taxis.
Okay.
The taxis have the nice Bel Airs and the Ford Fairlanes and the nice Caddies.
Okay.
But anyways, I thought this picture was really cool. It's got my favorite color red in there. It's got
It is.
the Chevys lined up, yeah. So there's one.
Do you ever
of
travel
them.
by horse and buggy a lot in Cuba, or is that still kind of common there?
They have the bike taxis.
Okay. The
And-
bike,
but
but that's
they did have horse and carriages. I didn't ride one. though.
Right,
I didn't
okay.
get that super touristy, but they had them
yeah,
there.
you do. Okay, next picture. What's that?
This is a very
Hold it up.
Cuban-looking salsa queen, and
Okay.
some women dress like this in Cuba. Not all of them, but I would say it's
I know, it's a
definitely
common-
Cuban style. Yeah.
Before Ricky Ricardo met Lucy, that's what his women look like.
Yeah, but I just
Okay.
overall I like the design and like the energy of the artwork. And lastly, you just got one hero photo of a red old school Cadillac, which is like pretty much what everybody thinks of when they think of Cuba.
Okay.
So I bought these. I'll probably give 2 of them to my niece and nephew, and probably hold on to this one because it's got
Cool.
the red car. Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
Yep.
And I appreciate you brought it up here and showed it on Topic Time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Fill you guys in.
Right. So now that you're back from Cuba, now, what are you going to be doing in the next, like, say, few months? Here we are almost in spring. It's probably mid-February, and it feels pretty springy out tonight. It's going to be cold this weekend, but what are your plans for the upcoming next few months, if you want to
Yeah,
just
time
let us
flies,
know?
huh? Well, I'm exhibiting at the a women's conference at the Mass Mutual
Exhibiting
Center in
what?
Springfield. Just my design practice. And I'm also going to probably give away a few just informative PDFs at my booth, just to kind of provide value to the people there. But besides that, just continuing my design practice and speaking more on the design in people's personal lives and building from there. Yeah.
All right, and so you pretty much for now you're grounded on the East Coast and around here, right?
As of now, yeah.
As of
I
now.
mean, I like being around family and like traveling here and there. It's like a beautiful mix for me. Yeah.
Okay, how old are your niece and nephews?
My niece will be 7 years old,
Okay,
which
so
I don't believe in
They're
April.
little,
They're
yeah,
little
but they're
now,
getting up.
yeah.
They're getting your time flies quickly.
They grow like weeds. Yeah.
I know they do. Do you ever take them with you when you travel anywhere?
No, not as of yet. But their mother, my sister, is taking them to Italy in the summer, so they got that going.
Are you going too?
No, I don't know if I'll make that trip.
Yeah.
Nah,
You think you'll
unfortunately.
eventually go to Italy?
I will definitely go there. It's only
Sounds
a
like you
matter
like
of
the
time.
romance countries, which is of which one Italy is.
Yeah, well, it's that's another language I like to learn after
Italian, right,
Spanish. Once
yeah.
I get Spanish down, Italian. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Now, have you ever done it? Now, again, you got to understand, most of the people I interview, have a media history. They're in acting, they're in communications,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, you are too, in the sense that you communicate your design practices to people,
Sure.
and you explain how that, like you're going to be doing at this show in Springfield. But have you ever done any acting or music or anything like that?
I'd be open to it, but never.
Never have done it?
Not beyond like kind of interviews or production type shows. No formal acting, I suppose.
Really? Okay.
Not yet. Not yet.
So have you never done like any video editing or any? Have you ever like? Let me ask you this: is any like video editing going with designs? So like, have you ever created a video showing your design so you can basically put yourself out there and maybe get it on YouTube and show literally the whole world?
I used to
big remnants of the world.
When I was younger, believe it or not,
Yeah.
I used to make mafia movies.
Well, there you go. How so? You mean
Yeah.
you started them and you
So
had
I
people-
have and always been a huge fan of Scorsese and all his work.
I was in Shutter Island. I worked with him.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
19
know how talented he is.
I know.
Right.
He hired me, didn't he? Yeah, I was a mental patient in the film. Well, I was born to play.
No way.
Swear to God. And then
Really?
11 years before that, I worked for Spielberg. I was in Shutter Island.
Right.
I mean, I was in Amistad. Shutter Island was with Scorsese. Spielberg fired me on set.
Right.
Spielberg's a
That's
schmuck.
awesome. That's
It
awesome.
was, but it makes a great story, obviously.
Well, you've got quite the history too.
Oh, I
But,
do, yeah. And plus, I've been in a bunch of indie films thanks to my show because I've interviewed a lot of filmmakers
Nice,
and
nice.
stuff. So, and as a reward, they put me in some stuff.
Right. Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, as far as filmmaking goes, when I was literally like 12 or 13, I used to make mafia movies with my cousin. And now, when I watch them again, they're the funniest thing in the world. 'Cause
Oh,
we were
you
trying to
haven't
be
even on
serious.
YouTube?
Not yet.
Oh, because
Not
I was going
yet.
to say, if you had some here, we could probably look at them.
Well, they're not.
They're not
beyond
up yet,
Yeah,
okay.
they're also beyond PG-13. You got little kids saying cuss
yeah, but
words.
the
I
FCC
tried to make
doesn't-
it authentic.
Right, but the
you know?
FCC doesn't have any regulations of public access
Right.
TV. But we,
They'll
you
be.
know,
We'll put them up there
yeah,
eventually.
I'll have to
Harrison,
check them
yeah.
out. But
Yeah.
that is pretty cool. When you say, did you produce them yourself and act in them? Is that
I
it?
did. I wrote the scripts.
wrote
I
the scripts.
produced them. I filmed them. I did the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
We had fun doing it. Why don't you go back to doing some? I mean, is it a time element? You think you could if you wanted to?
I mean, potentially. Like I have not connections. A good friend of mine, his girlfriend's in the kind of video production. I said if she ever needed an actor, I would be open to it. 'Cause I
Love to
think
have
it'd
them on the show.
Be a fun experience. Yeah. I'll have
Okay.
to ship them back from San Diego.
Oh, they're in
though.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but if they ever want to, I mean, that's great.
Okay.
That is awesome.
Keep that.
What
in
about
mind.
music? You ever do music, sing, dance, play guitar, trombone?
I love music, a big fan of music. I know a little bit of piano.
Okay.
Still keeping up the practice with that when I find more time, but I wouldn't say professionally either, more as a hobby,
Okay,
more as a side hobby, yeah.
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, so now this job you have now, you're self-employed. When are you going to go to LA again to see the people out there that you work for? Or are you?
I have a love-hate relationship with the city of LA.
Okay.
It's nothing bad, I can't stand the traffic.
Oh, the traffic, but the traffic in Boston and Springfield is kind of hefty too, isn't it?
Oh, not as bad as LA.
Well, really?
LA is insane, yeah. Have you
Okay.
been out there, Harrison?
Yes, I have. Well,
Yeah.
I wasn't there during rush hour, but what happened was my brother was doing law school in San Diego. We went out there. We went up to Burbank to see the Sybil show being taped. This was in 1997, right after I had done Amistad when we got fired by Spielberg. And I don't know if you've ever taken in a sitcom being filmed in one of those trailers. It's pretty cool because they taped one scene. It could take a half-hour sitcom could take like 2 or 3 weeks to put together.
Right.
And as someone in the studio audience, you get to see like one scene at a time, and then we saw like 2 or 3 scenes from one of the shows. Then I went home, and about 6 months later, I watched the entire episode. But I only saw like being taped. I got the whistle at Morgan Fairchild. Remember the actress?
I've heard the name, yeah.
Well, she's kind of old now, but she used to be
Okay.
pretty hot.
Nice.
She may still be. I don't know. I mean, she's older than us.
Right.
And I'm 60, so
Well, some people age like wine,
They
get
do.
better as the time goes on, sure.
that's absolutely right. Shania
Yeah.
Twain sure looks amazing, and she's
Yeah.
55.
J-Lo.
J-Lo,
give
and
it
the
up
other
for
one,
J-Lo, yeah.
Shakira, but she's only 42.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Okay. All right. So do you still write anything now? I mean, just put it this way: does your design job is it all like just creating visual stuff, or do you write as well? Do you write?
Yeah, so with the whole, my whole design thing and my practice and practicing design in kind of the more personal realm, I'm writing and kind of creating more assets for the more personal design practice that I'm doing.
Okay. What do you
for,
mean
like,
personal?
people. So I believe people should design their lives,
Yeah.
like through intent and
So you're putting
purpose.
like logos of people's own family trees on their work? Is that it? Or on their
No,
products?
not so much that. This is kind of a different shift in the more professional, like we'll call it like corporate design that I
Okay.
do. So what I speak on to like more individuals is kind of to live a life by design, not by default.
Okay.
So you take the design practice that basically I do,
Yep.
and you kind of immerse that into your personal life. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
So you basically you're a teacher. You tutor people how to design their own stuff. Is that it?
More like their kind of attitude and goals and kind of system for life itself. Yeah.
Okay.
More
Now,
more on a very like personal level. Yeah. Correct.
okay. And a personal level, are these personal people in their own lives, personally or professionally as well, or both?
A little bit of both. Like,
Okay.
so the formal design system can be utilized, like I said, in your personal life.
Okay.
And on the more professional, like personal level. So like how you work within your career.
Yep.
Or kind of how you just function every day as, as a person, your attitude and the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what? We're under 5 minutes to go.
Oh, wow, that was fast.
Well, we always have fun on topic time.
Right
So what I
on.
want you to do in the remaining, now it's a little, I got a quick question before why aren't you on Facebook?
Why aren't I on Facebook? Another love-hate thing, Harrison, but I might be on there someday to kind of just promote my work further.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because
Yeah.
I mean, everything for me is Facebook. Most 99% of my
Right,
guests I
right.
get through Facebook.
Right. I think it's an amazing tool. I think the only problem that can come up with Facebook, and it's kind of in its totality as part of it, it's designed to be addictive. So it can be.
It's not designed to be addictive. It's addictive. Put it this way: it's not like heroin. It's not like
Right.
if you shoot it into your artery, into your veins, you're going to
Sure.
become an addict.
Yeah.
It's something that it's got its pros and cons like everything
yeah,
else.
Sure.
If you're gonna let it run you, it's going to run you. But you don't have to.
Right.
Like you say, you design stuff for your personal life. When it comes to Facebook, it's the same thing. You can design.
Sure.
You can let it. You can be a victim or you can be a conqueror. And as far and for me, I'm a conqueror.
There you go.
And with your attitude, you could be too.
Yeah.
I would definitely suggest going on Facebook and possibly doing some videos for your company and trying to get people, just to help help get the word out there even faster and farther.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I always try to give advice to my guests that'll help them out.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I have to agree with you there. It is definitely a tool, and yeah, exactly how you use it, which I was going to elaborate on, but you're absolutely right. But with that being said, I have an Instagram, and then eventually, yes, I'm going to get the Facebook
Okay.
going in there too. Yeah.
And I think you'd be very happy with the results when you do it.
Right.
Okay, well, very quickly, give some shouts out to people that are going to see the show. Just once it's on Facebook, because I can share it on Facebook, but since you're not on it, it's not going to be shareable on your wall because you don't have
Sure.
one.
Sure.
But go ahead, give shouts out, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, just shout out to my family. Don't
forget
if they
Wayne.
weren't here, I wouldn't be there. Shout out to Wayne Soares,
Wayne Soares.
fantastic guy. All my friends and design colleagues and everybody who put me in this chair and gave me the confidence to kind of do what I'm doing today. Thank you. Salud.
Salute.
Yeah,
Okay, well, I hope you had fun with me tonight.
I did. It was great. It was awesome.
And I hope, and just so you know, if you have any friends that are in any business at all or any entertainment or just even what you do, anything that's interesting, send them my way. I'd love to interview them.
Sounds
For
good.
people from Springfield, wherever.
Awesome. That sounds great.
I have people come up here from literally all over the country to do the show and the world too.
Nice.
So I might actually have a guy coming up here all the way from Brazil. If his budget can withstand it, he might come up and talk. He did a biography on Stephen King.
That sounds very intriguing.
Loves the
Right
show,
on.
and that's the great thing about Facebook. You can reach the whole world in about 2 seconds.
It's very true.
Which
We're all interconnected now, right?
Yeah.
In various ways, yeah.
that's exactly right. All right, Matt, I'm sorry. Thank you for being on Topic Time tonight.
Harrison, pleasure.
We're going to wrap it up. You ready to, as we did at the beginning?
Yeah, we can click it up.
Let's
Snap
do it.
up.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Take care.
Gotta get a lighter for you.
I don't want to write it. I have asthma.